Within a decoration process, such as screen printing or embroidery, you can establish the colors that you have on hand to essentially represent your standard stock colors. So we just need to go into decoration processes, select the process we want to update the color palette for. So we'll do screen printing. And from here, you can add a palette that's already available or start configuring your palette color by color using an RGB HTML hex code or CMYK value. So we can just name this black, and then the RGB value creates the color. White is 255 for RGB. Red, maybe we'll use 200, red, 0, blue. Now, this can become a tedious process if you have around 80, 90 stock colors like my shop has. That is why DecoNetwork makes it possible for you to import your own palette of colors using a CSV file. Now, the formatting of the CSV is not complicated, but it is important that you do it exactly the way DecoNetwork needs it. So if we look at this CSV value, or essentially sheet, you will notice we have all these numbers up top, and then we have the name. So this is the CMYK, YK. This is the RGB value. So keep that in mind, that you need these to be in this exact order, but when I import, I typically don't have the CMYK values already in place. I just have these columns blank, and then I let my RGB value create the color, and then DecoNetwork finds the correct CMYK value. So if you're like me and you only want to import an RGB, just keep these first 4 columns blank, then have your RGB values, and then the name. Now, the name is also where I like to slip in the Pantone color that it represents. So if you see here, I have it charcoal PMS 432C. If you want a Pantone number to be displayed, it needs to be put into the name of the color. And then here, I like to put in my case, I use Madeira Polyneon embroidery thread. I use the thread color in parentheses next to the Pantone number. So once you have your CSV formatted, come into DecoNetwork, add a palette name. So we'll just call this Ink Colors. We'll load our file. Click Save. And this is going to upload my CSV, which then I can continuously update within DecoNetwork, but it's just a lot easier versus having to enter those RGB values one at a time. So again, you can see there's my name, there's the Pantone number it represents, and then again in parentheses I have my Polyneon 40 color. The reason I do it this way is when it comes to embroidery and screen printing, I have pretty much the exact same standard 90 colors, which allows my customer to match the screen printing with embroidery so that they're as close as possible. So again, very simple. Go into color palettes, import a palette the exact same way we just did with screen printing, and it will all make sense and give your customer the exact colors to choose from that you want them to. When it comes to screen printing and embroidery, we don't typically want to just give them the entire spectrum of colors, the whole rainbow, as we need to pull or mix specific colors for it. If you do want the customer to have access to all colors under the rainbow, like you would a CMYK process, click this Allow Color slider, and this is going to allow your customer to essentially use any color that they want. If you have any questions on how to import a CSV color palette, check out the help article up here, or don't hesitate clicking on the question mark and raising a support ticket with client services who will walk you through how to do this. Hopefully you find this video helpful, and thank you for watching.